everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to make front pleated dress, pleats around the neckline and around the skirt, and I will guide you step by step. Before we dive into it, let's have a little clip. One of my friends, she is doing modeling for me, so let's get started. Let's start with making pattern. First of all, we need measuring tape, we need pattern paper, or if you already have a pattern and paper I'm using like cross and dot paper. So how to cut the blouse and pattern I have described in my few videos. I will add the link below. So first of all, I'm just making the neck deeper as much as I want. So you can cut the rounded neck or little oval neck. So the depth of the neck is totally up to you, how deep neck you want. After cutting the depth of the neck, we will start cutting the pattern and mark the center first of all. And this is not basically right or wrong. How many pleats you want, you can add. So I'm going to add from the center 3 pleats on either side. You can add 2 as well, but I'm going to give the distance of 2 centimeter in between and on either side. 2 centimeter on right, 2 centimeter on the left side. So keep marking, it's totally up to you how many pleats you want. As I said before, you can add 3 or 4 pleats as well, and keep marking 2 centimeter distance apart. And then from the marks, come down and then you can draw line diagonally, and then we will cut them. So distance, how wide you want, this is totally up to you. That's why I said there is no right and wrong. Just add diagonal lines. So 4 diagonal lines from the point around the neckline, and now I'm adding diagonal lines, and then I will start cutting. I have marked these lines, and now I'm going to cut them. So after cutting, basic idea behind is we have to add extra fabric for the plates. So after cutting these parts on the paper, I will add another color paper, so you can see as well. For the description purposes, you can add same color paper as well. And then we will move these slits about 2 inches apart. It's still up to you how wide pleats you want. If you want smaller pleats, still we will give like at least 3 centimeter distance apart from each other. So in this way we will have extra fabric to add pleats, and our actual shape of the dress will remain the same. So now I have cut all these marking, and make sure do not cut all across, just leave little ends. Now I am taking a separate piece of paper. You can add the same color of paper as well. I'm just using pink color paper for so you can see in the video clearly. And now I have moved each slit 2 centimeter apart. You can move them 3 centimeter apart as well. So it's totally up to you. So these every slit you can see has a gap of 2 centimeter. So in this way, when I will cut this pattern on a fabric, I will have a extra fabric around neckline to add pleats. Now I have taped all of them, and I'm just marking around this area, and after marking I will be cutting it. All extra paper I will cut, then our pattern for this blouse will be ready. So I will simply place this pattern on the fabric and cut my fabric, and then you can keep watching this video up to the end how I made this neckline. When you have a pattern ready, it is easy, you can keep it safe, and you can use on your different dresses, whatever you are making. And these type of pleats, they look really stylish and nice, especially for the formal dresses as well, and for your normal casual dresses as well. And the fabric I'm using is a quite stretchy fabric. It's called scuba crepe fabric. It gives crepe-like appearance, but it has a stretching. Now I simply place this pattern on the paper, and if your pattern is little smaller than your actual height, then add the 2 inches. Now I'm adding 2 inches extra because the person I'm making the dress for, it is taller, so then I am adding 2 inches extra fabric at the base, and the rest will be the same because I am using her measurement. So you take your own measurement, and then after that you cut the pattern. So now our front pattern is almost ready. After cutting the front part is ready, then I will cut the back part, and now I'm going to make pleats from the center. You keep adding pleats. It's totally up to you on which side of pleats you are adding. So just keep watching, and when you mark all these slits, then it's easy to give a balance pleats on either side. Now I'm going to cut lining for this front neckline. So simply place this fabric on another square piece of fabric, and I am adding 1.5 inches wide lining. So in this way it is enough to fold inside and give a shape. So I'm going to add stick-on fabric as well. So this is our neckline is ready. I will place it on, but before I stitch, I will be adding a stick-on fabric. Stick-on fabric is like when you iron it, it stick with the fabric. So this is my fabric, and now I'm placing the neckline on this stick-on fabric, and accordingly I will be just cutting it all across, and I will pin it up on my dress and use my sewing machine to stitch it. Now I will place this fabric underneath, and then stick on fabric on on this lining, and make sure the sticky part is on the top. So now I have stitched it. Now press it back, and use your iron and just press with the iron. That in this way your lining will stick with your dress, and the front part of your blouse is ready. And after doing that, prepare the back part of your blouse ready, and you are halfway done. So this is how our front pleated part looks like, and I have joined it with the back part. And how to make the back parts I have described in many videos. Now I'm going to make sleeves, and for the sleeves I'm going to add cold shoulder, and I just took measurement according to the length of the sleeves I want. First of all, cut it just like a normal sleeves, and then I am going to reduce the length as much you want. So I want short sleeves, and make sure your sleeves are according to your dress you are making. So make sure they are wide enough. Now for making cold shoulders, mark 3.5 inches on the side and 3.5 inches down and across, and then make a small curve shape. So in this way we will have you can make deeper as well. I'm using my French curve ruler to give a curve, and then after that I will cut it, and that is how our cold shoulder will be ready on both sleeves. And before we'll attach it with the sleeve, I will hem it. Just hem it inside, or if you want to add lining at this stage, you can do it. Now I have attached these sleeves, and make sure your markings are matching with each other on both sides, and I will hem at the end of this sleeves, and our front part of the dress is ready. Now I'm going to cut the pattern for this skirt, and this is how it will look like. And how to cut this pencil skirt I have described in one of my video. I will add the link below. For cutting this type of skirt, we need 3 parts: waist measurement, hip measurement, and a round ankle measurement, and total length you need. However, you can make it up to the up to your knees, or below knees, or above knees. Is totally up to you. Now simply I placed this pattern on my fabric and fix it with a pin, and I am going to cut back part of this skirt. Back part will be plain, and you can add slit as well if you want. So this is a quite stretchy fabric, so it will be easy to walk. If you are using the fabric that is not stretchy, then you have to add slit or opening at the back, so you can walk easily. Now this is a back part of the skirt is ready. So after cutting the back part, I'm using the same paper and going to give a shape. So totally this is not right and wrong here as well. So you can diagonally cut this pattern paper from any side. I leave at least 3 inches from the waist, and then I give a diagonal cut. So this is totally up to you. And after that, you are marking diagonally lines, 3 or 4 as I did. And now on other side, I will be after 4 inches from the waist, I am marking diagonally as well. And how many pleats you want is totally up to you. I'm adding 4 or 5 pleats. You can add more as well or less, is totally up to you. This is your pattern, your fabric, you can design it. So I'm adding, I think I added 5 of them, and now I'm going to cut this pattern paper. So you can cut totally as well, or I just left it at the moment. So now I'm cutting all these slits, and in the same way I will be adding extra fabric. I'm cutting these slits so I can have extra fabric. So I will wide open them as many pleats you want. You can add 2 pleats or 1, and then you will have a spare fabric to add pleats. So now I have cut pleats on one side, and now I'm widening them. I have moved them like 2 centimeters apart from each other. You can move them 3 centimeters apart as well, is totally up to you. I'm moving them away 2 centimeters apart, and I'm keep adding or fixing them with the cello tape. So make sure all of them are of equal distance. So now I am fixing them with the cello tape so they will stay intact and it will be easy to cut. When they are fixed, then just simply cut the spare paper, and your pattern is ready. So use this pattern, simply place it on your fabric and cut it, and make sure you mark it so you know where you are going to add pleats. Now one part is ready, and same thing I will be doing another part. I will move them, this part I will move them apart little more, 2 inches apart, because I'm going to add wider pleats. So I'm making them 2 inches apart each. So how many pleats you want is still like totally up to you. You can add less or more at this stage. This cutting I'm doing just so in this way we will have an extra fabric to make pleats. And same as I did for another part, I'm adding cello tape. So when the pattern will be ready, I will cut the spare paper, and our pattern will be ready to cut. Now I have cut all this paperwork, so our pattern is ready. You can separate these two parts at this stage. It's up to you, or you can leave it intact as well. So place this fabric, and basically this front part of the skirt will have two parts. And now I am cutting my fabric. I place this pattern on the fabric, and I am cutting it. Sides as well. At this stage, I just left two parts together, so I know that where I'm going to add plaits, but after that I will separate these two parts. Now I'm marking, so I know where I am going to add plaits. It's better to mark them. Now I have removed this pattern paper, and I'm going to add plaits. You can add plaits on directing towards yourself or directing down. It's still up to you. I keep adding pins at the same time. So I have added some plaits. So now after adding plaits, I will use my sewing machine to stitch them, give a straight stitch, and I will stitch this part as well. So now I have stitched these plaits. Now they are safe, and now I'm going to give another plaits on slide it across this fabric, just like I'm doing. So at this stage, you can add as many slits you want. You can add 2 as well. You can add 3 as well. So I will be basically adding 2 big slits. That's why I feel that it's good. I am adding 3, just like you can add 3 as well. But this is just I'm checking. But I will prefer to add 2. Or so now when I have stitched all this across, front part match with the front part of the blouse, and back with the back part, and then we will stitch the sides of our dress. I have attached now back part. Use your pins so you know that where this fabric is going to placed. After fixing the front and back part with the pins, use your sewing machine to stitch all across. And now I have make my dress ready. This is how it looks like. I have given one stitch at the end of the pleats, so they keep them fixed, and use my twin needle to give a double stitch at the end. And I use twin needle for the sleeves as well. They look quite professional and nice. So this is front part of our dress. And any question, feel free to ask, and any suggestion you can just write down in a comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Then don't forget to subscribe so you can get future video notification, and see you all in my next video. Bye.